Viltrox sent me another lens. This time it is more on the affordable side. It is the AF 50mm f2 Air for the Z mount. A couple things you'll note right off the bat if you pick this up for yourself in any of the links in the description. I get a 2% commission if you do that. Is it's very plasticky. It's very, it's a little cheaper feeling, but the price does reflect that. Price-wise is going to be in the same kind of ballpark as like your Nikon Z40 f2 and also the 28 f2.8. It's in that kind of ballpark, $199, and the construction feels basically like what you would expect from like a $200 lens, but it does have a metal lens mount, which is pretty nice. Everything else is just really plasticky. I will say the machining on it, there's a tiny bit of play, but it's nothing more severe than what some Nikon lenses do. It goes on nice. I would rather it go on like that than for it to have like a lot of resistance. That scares me with third-party lenses sometimes. The lens cap is really, really good. It's not going to pop off on your jeans. And there's not much else to say about it because there's no switches, buttons, nothing. There's nothing to click. Now, the focus ring is pretty cheap feeling. Feels like something you'd get out of a $200 lens. It's not really that smooth. It's fairly tight. I guess that really doesn't matter though, because you're just probably going to use it in autofocus anyway. There's no switch to put it in manual anyway, so why bother with it, I guess. That being said, I do like switches and things. I like functionality and options. But with nothing much to say about the construction of this lens, let's just kind of get into seeing how it performs. As usual, we got to do our color saturation. We'll do our red on our lantern real quick. Looking through the viewfinder, it looks a little more orange than red. It is getting hit by the sun. I'm gonna step over here. And how about blue? Got our trusty thing there. Blue is more saturated than natural. Let's see what the sky looks like. Yeah, blue looks about right. Let's check out green. Green looks a little more neon to my eye than what's natural. And for yellow, we'll do one of these flags here. Remember, these are just baselines, you know. It's better to get like a full. Yellow looks pretty good on the saturation, a little bit beyond natural saturation. What about focus speed? It's a pretty slow focus. It's nothing to write home about. We're gonna go over to the old school black and white ability area. There's no light on the post, so we're gonna do this right here. Let's get this birdhouse. I'm gonna take a shot up at the sky to peep the vignetting. Oh, I can see some pretty bad vignetting through the viewfinder. Want to check out what the focus distance is. Seems like it's not particularly close. So it's about right there, is minimum focus. It's good for framing. Like as far as framing with a 50mm goes, you get that good kind of general use 50mm. Like this is kind of the territory that the minimum that you'd probably be in anyway. But just in case you wanted to get closer, it's not a particularly close focusing lens. We're looking at, oh shoot, maybe, hey! Focus distance isn't a really that great of a performance. It's okay, it fills the frame nice at minimum focus, but if you wanted to get closer, you're not going to. That's probably, you know, 1.5 feet or better. I'm gonna take a couple pictures around here, and then I'll take some portraits of Allie a little bit later. We've got a shoot coming up today, and I'll take a couple test shots with this, see how it does at 5.6, 6.3 in studio with some flash. Alrighty, so now we are in Lightroom, and reds don't look as orange as they did in the viewfinder. That's right there. I think that's right on as far as the color saturation goes. That looks right. This also looks right. Perhaps just a very tad past normal saturation. Oh, there's the lantern again. So check out the greens. Greens actually look on. They look right. That looks right. Maybe a little neon-y. Not bad. I wouldn't change it. Yellow is probably the most saturated, I think. Yellow looks really good. So overall, I'd give the saturation of this lens, I'd give it just middle marks. I did notice this. This kind of looks a little magenta, a little bit, like it's kind of starting to shift towards that. But that doesn't seem to be the case back here on these reds. So might just be a fluke or something. By the way, sharpness on this lens is actually pretty good. I didn't think it was going to be that good, but it actually looks pretty good. Look at a lot of detail. Yeah, black and white ability. Look at this vignetting. We just hit the black and white button. You should never leave your images there, but that's what we do to gauge black and white ability. So we hit the black and white button. It's just okay. It's not a strong performer. It's not a weak performer. It's certainly not terrible. It's better than some Nikon Z lenses, but nowhere close to some of the ones that are really good. So middle of the road performance on that too. And here, you know, we can see the terrible vignetting on this lens. Terrible vignetting on this lens. Blues look good though. And here we did the, this is from the minimum focus. Let's hit the black and white real quick. Yeah, very middle of the road. But what's interesting is it's actually decently sharp at its minimum focus distance. Even most Nikon Z lenses at minimum focus, they're noticeably not as sharp as than they are if you just back up a tad bit, like an inch or so. This is at minimum focus, and it's not really that bad. And so that's actually pretty good. I mean, clearly it's not, if you backed up an inch, it would be better, but it's not terrible. And so good job on that Viltrox. It looks like it's not having issues with fringing that much. We see a little bit of the green in these shadows, which is, you see that sometimes. You'll get in these shadows here, these kind of higher contrast areas. Some lenses that don't control vignetting well, you'll get like some weird green in there, and we see a little bit of that, but there's no purple fringing, and this usually fringes. We took one picture out in the yard, this little thing. I already pulled the highlights on it. It's not bad. The contrast is okay on it. It's not really a bad lens for $199, I think. But we did get some in the studio, and I think this is going to surprise you. The skin tones are really good, and this lens, this is at f5.6, looks really, really good. Now, of course, any lens at f5.6 is going to be sharp, but this lens is very, very nice in studio. For not a whole lot of money, yeah, the focus is really slow, but this is a pretty great lens in the studio. Just look how sharp. It looks great. It's not excessively sharp to where it starts to get offensive, but it is really dang sharp and really nice in a studio setting. I think that in the studio, you can't beat this for $199. It just don't get much better. It don't get much better than this for $199. I don't think Nikon has a lens that cheap. Well, they don't have a lens that cheap, period. But say like the 40mm f2, I don't think it would be this good in studio. Really, really nice in studio. Just kind of middle of the road outside of the studio, you know, testing it in like individual kind of situations. But if you specify, just like a 50mm is really good in the studio, right? In most studio spaces, that's what I use. I use the 50mm f1.2 every time I'm in the studio. I think that this is a really, really good lens for any level of skill because it just does good in here. Let's center that a little bit. Get in here. Looks great. Yeah, I'm really impressed with this lens in studio, like the idea of using it in studio. Really fantastic. Very, very good. I like that. If you want to pick this lens up to use in the studio, I would recommend this in studio. I think if you're going to buy anything, buy the 50mm f1.8, right? Eventually get up to that point. But if you're mostly shooting studio, save the money. Use this instead in studio. I think this does exactly what you need it to do. Great detail. No crazy fringing or any weird stuff happening. Good contrast for the studio. That's it. Links in the description if you want to pick it up for yourself. I'm Z Wade, the Z Wade, and Z Wade Photo. Stay sharp, YouTube.